Good morning, Leeds United fans. From Australia to Alaska, New York to New Haven, Brisbane to Beeston, we are on the air. Trying to do a little new workshop of an intro. Smash the like as you come in, American and Leeds, the YouTube channel. My name is Alex Simon. I'll tell you what, I've been here for 8 years. I'm not quitting you now, Leeds. And looks like we got a merger, baby. All things seem to be pointed in the right direction. I used to have board meetings, and this one kind of seasoned. Well, I still have board meetings, but this seasoned colleague used to say to me, "Everything's up and to the right." That's all they want to hear. Everything's up and to the right, and that's the way it looks like it is at Leeds United. So, Takeover smoke continues to rise. It looks like it's being more outlets have basically taken on the mail news that a deal is complete for $175 million. I think that is very good business by the 49ers. I just think they're getting a heck of a brand. They knew that going in. And if they're able to get this club back up to the Premier League, I mean, they're going to see their asset turn into real value. And I really am buying into who they are as a club. So I think, I'm doing this 10-minute little episode here for a few reasons. One, I wanted to squash I think there's some weird conspiracy theories out there about the 49ers, about Jesse Marsch being his boy. I think that's false. We knew Victor Orta was talking to him months prior. They had Jesse Marsch in line to unfortunately take over for Marcelo Bielsa, which was not appropriate, nor should they have done that. In many respects, in retrospect, it's just a terrible all around. Anyways, I think that was a gimmick by Andre Radrizzani to get more American fans, to increase value into the club, and it wasn't good business. Now, you could say, well, the 49ers had to approve it. Well, if they have a minority stake, and Parag Marathe was quoted in saying that we are passengers. That's what they said. We are here to advise, that we are an advisory role right now. That's all we really can do because we don't have any control of the club. And they looked at kind of settling finances, and they felt like if you look at Parag, when the 49ers first started coming in, they really kind of felt like they were consultants. And I think particularly Orta was Raz's boy, and I think Raz wanted to get rid of Jesse Marsch. Victor knew that his job was on the line. I mean, this is me speculating, but I think you can read between the lines. Victor knew that his job was on the line with Jesse Marsch backing Jesse Marsch. I think Raz gave him one more opportunity to appoint a manager. Of course, he went back to his Spain connections with Javi Gracia. And then he finally got the axe. And obviously Javi didn't work out. And if you look at the roster, the squad, apologies, I am an American, so please give me some little bit of leeway. But anyways, if you look at the squad, it's much more Spanish than it is American. I realize that some of the Americans came in and, most of them failed, right? 2 out of the 3. Just take it all. I just don't want it to be people thinking that it's an American club and they don't care. 49ers want to win. They don't care about where you come from, what nationality you are, they want to win. They want to win and they want to make money, and a rising tide carries all boats. I really feel like if you look at the other organization that they run, the 49ers American Football Club, it's a class run organization. It is the most talented squad in the National Football League. They are missing one key player from winning many world titles. It's a very difficult player. It's a very difficult position to recruit for, specifically at the world-class level in that sport, which is the quarterback. There's that out of the way. The other thing is I really want to encourage you to Google Parag Marathe, it's Parag Marathe for me. I sent this out on Twitter. There's several interviews out there of this gentleman talking about when they were coming in, and he will be the face of the ownership. He will be the lead owner of Leeds United once this deal hopefully is completed and approved, and the stamp of a seal is on it from the EFL. And there's several interviews. Just literally go into YouTube and type Parag Marathe, and I'll tell you how to spell it. P-A-R-A-A-G space M-A-R-A-T-H-E. Go in, look that and name up, and see what this guy's all about. See his soft skills. This is an interview he did with, I don't know who was, maybe BBC Leeds, but it was reposted on Marching On Together, the Marching On Together YouTube channel. And he's talking about how trust has to be earned with the fans, and he realizes that. So trust has to be earned.
It'll take time because, like I said, trust is earned. And I think, what I would ask Leeds supporters is that just trust our intentions, and trust our intentions are pure. I don't want to be known as the American investors or American owners of the club. I want to be known as a Leeds supporter first. And I think that, for us, yes, do we make a financial investment, and do we have a financial interest in the club's success? Sure, we do. But that's done now, right? And now this is about passion, and this is about competition, and this is about achieving a level of success, because Leeds is my little brother now. And the club is my little brother. And I'm going to poke fun at us when we're struggling, and I'm going to defend us when anyone criticizes us. And I want to see my little brother graduate college, get a great job, have a family of his own. And Leeds is part of my blood now. Whether calling us an American investor, in the same way that I said calling a fan is a disservice, I think that's a disservice to me and us, because I feel we're much bigger and much more than that. And I hope supporters will start to see that, and I can earn their trust.
Absolutely. And I think, one of the things that comes out.
Yeah. So he wants to earn the fans' trust. And the way the way he's going to earn people's trust is by winning. And I think he knows that, and doing right by the club and doing right by the fans. I think that's a good thing to say. So immediately we go into, the ground, Elland Road, 102 years old. The respect and the reverence that he has for the ground, I think, comes across in all the interviews. And again, you can check them out on my Twitter. It's @AmericanLeeds. I'll also link it down below as well. But there's several interviews. It'll take you a couple hours to get through all of them. But, I think that they're worthy to go through if you want to know who's going to be in charge of the club.
I mean, in terms of Elland Road, what you've done a great job clearly when it comes to investing in the team, and they're doing the business on the field. When it comes to the infrastructure, the stadium, to what extent is that great stadium in need of investment? What are your plans for that?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly great benefits, both economically as well as for fans, to modernize Elland Road. Whether it is adding more premium, or adding I think it was the West Side stand or the East Side stand. I always mix that up. But
so I want to stop it right there. There was rumors of Elland Road's improvements while in the Premier League. It's never come to fruition because Raz owning both the majority in both the stadium. I'm turning the page. I just want to also say I'm turning the page. Thanks, Raz. Appreciate you for getting us up. You made a really great appointment, Marcelo Bielsa. Since really a less you take that away, it's been lacking. So I just am. I did this with Marsch. I did this a little bit with Marcelo, although I'm more reverent of him. I'm more respectful of who he is and what he did. But once this guy's gone, I'm focusing on what's ahead of us. And so I think that anyway, so the punchline is I think they wanted to do improvements, but it takes capital to make money. It takes money to make money. Unfortunately, in this world, I think Raz was unwilling to do investment in Elland Road. And he's talking here about basically, I want to invest in NER in Elland Road to make more revenue and put it back into the club.
But adding more capacity, because the top half of the Premier League, they play in stadiums with greater capacity than we have, and so there's definitely things that we want to do to modernize the stadium. I should caveat, however, that there's also something magical about Elland Road. Playing at in 102-year-old grounds, there is something magical about it, and there's something menacing about it to opposing players, right? And we do need to make sure we preserve that. Yeah. And so you don't want to just go start to play in a sterile environment where you don't have that competitive advantage. And so I think there's a delicate balance there where, yes, there's things we can do to modernize it, increase capacity, and make the experience better for our supporters. But at the same time, we want to bottle up that magic that we do have.
Do you?
The interviewer goes on to say, do you own a piece of Elland Road? And he says, we do. Yeah. This next one is on, there's just 2 or 3 more of these clips, but again, it's the future owner.
Stadium.
Is interesting to hear. So this is why he originally, how did you find Leeds United? Like, why Leeds United? This guy he's also invested in cricket, which is a whole nother world. I don't know. Anyways, but the 49ers are also interested in cricket, if you can believe that. But you could invest anywhere. Why Leeds United? You really could invest in there's so many different English soccer teams from in the championship all the way to the Premier League. Why Leeds United?
Attracted me in particular, starting maybe 7-8 years ago, was that Leeds to me felt like the 49ers circa 15 years ago. The 49ers had won many Super Bowls in the 80s and the 90s. In some ways we had fallen on hard times and that our performance on the pitch had fallen off. We at the time were playing in the oldest stadium in the NFL, and we just needed a revitalization. We needed more expertise. We needed modernization of the club, and we did that. We transformed the club over the past 15 years to now, we play in a new stadium, and we've improved our performance on the field as well. That's what I saw in Leeds. It had all of the great bones, because you saw in the 70s and 80s, they were one of the best clubs in all of Europe. Leeds Man U was one of the best, was one of the matches to watch. And there's movies made about them, and like they had those great bones. Unfortunately, they fell across hard times and actually multiple ownership groups. And so nobody really got them back up. But that kinetic energy was always swirling about the city and swirling about Elland Road. It just took the right place, the right time, the right ownership group, and the right vision to bring this club back to where they belong. And you see it now. Sure, we're very happy with how we performed so far, being a mid-table club. But beyond that, we're picked by Sky Sports to be on primetime as much as Liverpool and Man City and Man United. That tells you something about that. When I go back to people either love to love Leeds or love to hate Leeds because they're a family member, it's the same. It's by the same token. There's many opposing club fans that if you ask them who their least favorite club is, it's probably Leeds, right? But there's a benefit to that. There's a benefit to that being a fan of or an owner of Leeds United, is because it makes your club more popular, more talked about.
So when he says the 49ers are similar to Leeds United, I completely get that. Like the 49ers were, it's the exact same arc. I think they've dipped a little bit, but the 49ers are back up on the rise, going into their postseason, making runs at the title. They haven't gotten it, but they're in that conversation. And then you just look at some of the stuff that they do in the community, some of the stuff that they do with charities. how involved the players are in San Francisco, how respectful the players are, which is something that has always been, I think, important to the fans too. So they get that. And I just think this is such an upgrade over Raz. Raz had less credentials when it really comes to running an organization. A sports club organization. These people, this is what they do, and they have people that eat, breathe, and sleep, and die this stuff. I don't know necessarily if it was like that for Raz. I think Raz did look at it like I'm about to show you. He looked at it as an asset, and that became very clear towards the end of Raz's tenure. And so he says, this is kind of big into the why.
Is you have to care. You have to actually be into this. You can't just view this as an asset, like you do like a piece of real estate or a stock that you purchase or a piece of art that you go buy at an art auction at Sotheby's. This is you have to actually know about it, and you have to care about it. And that's something that we have a lot of passion about this. Like we at the 49ers, we have a little WhatsApp group every Leeds match, and even though some are at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. our time, and we are going back and forth celebrating great passes and goals and commiserating when they go against us. And so it's just who we are. We wouldn't want to do it if we didn't care about it. And so that actually matters as well. It's not some dispassionate piece of art that we put on our mantle in our penthouse in the Upper East Side. This is much more about something that we really is you have to care. You have to actually be into this.
So it goes on and basically that loops again. But yeah, you have to care, you have to be into it. And it's not just an asset that you're extracting value from. It's something where little things turn into big things, and big things kind of turn into winning. And what do I mean by that? I use the analogy of opening up a restaurant. If you want to open up a restaurant in particular is a difficult business. But if you come in with the goal, and it's like this in a lot of different businesses, selling clothes, I don't know, a lot of like face-to-face, some of the most successful businesses in the world did not go into it with the sole goal of we want to make money. Duh, everybody wants to make money. That's not your sole purpose cannot be we want to make money. You will fail if that's your goal. Your goal has to be more like in the example of a restaurant, we want to be part of the community. We want to do the best. We want to make the average person on the street understand and access. We want them to step into Thailand as soon as they come into this restaurant. And we want them to have access to another culture and another world. And we want to be part of that, what's going on that community as well, and welcome everybody in the door. And if we do all that, if all those boxes are checked, then we'll make money. I feel like owning a sports team is very much similar. If we get all these little things right, if we hire the right manager, like we did with Marcelo Bielsa, this is probably why they had the Zoom call with the guy 2 weeks ago to try to get him back in here. But if we do the stuff with the community right, if we get the players right, if we get the things that are going down, if with their fitness level, that's probably why they're interested in talking to Cobra, rumored. But if we get their fitness levels back right, this is what will add up to a successful team. Yeah, we want to win. Yeah, we want to make money. But if we just go in for that one sole purpose, it won't be successful. And it'll be interesting to just, how they do stuff with merchandise, how they make the club more accessible in larger and larger markets, how they use their network there with vendors and things like that. And then just, like I said, increase added value to fans. How they improve the social media, how they improve LUTV. That's going to be really, really interesting, I think, as the club moves forward. Yeah, so you have to actually care. And then this is just a quick quote about
winning.
They ask him, "Hey, are you into data, or you're a data-driven guy?" He's a data nerd, okay? He's from Stanford. He's really smart. He's a smarty guy, smart pants. Okay, I could never get into Stanford. I could never go to the club, the schools he went to. He's also the guy that the 49ers were kind of teetering, not in financial ruin, but financial trouble. And he righted their ship. He was basically the owners of the 49ers employed him to right the ship. And they got a really smart guy to do it. And he's a master negotiator. He likes to nerd out on that. And I think he also got them fiscally more solvent. And sabermetrics are a big part of like American football now. Obviously, stats are big in world football. And so he was asked, "Hey, the sabermetrics are really coming into the world football. What do you think of that? You're a numbers guy, LOL." And this was his response.
Winning. That's what I wanted. So whatever helps us win is all I want to do, right? Whether that is via numbers or whether that is by running laps around a track, I'll do whatever it takes to win. Winning.
I'll do whatever it takes to win. If it's diving into numbers and finding stats, if it's negotiating, this man is interested in one thing and one thing only. That monomaniacal focus on winning is what we need. This isn't about, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the other stuff that I covered, the ground, the integration with all that means nothing if you don't win. And I think if he has that monomaniacal focus on winning, on getting a winning culture here, and players feel that and coaches feel that as soon as they step in, and maybe there'll be improvements to Thorpe Arch as well, because I think that would be cool to see. I would love to see the training facility continue to rise as a recruiting tool. But it's all about winning. Just win. There's nothing better than it. So right here's the headline. And this is 2 months ago. And this is actually from an NFL blog, really, NBC Sports. But Mike Florio is a big, there's really no one I could compare him to. He's just, he's a talking head. He's a pundit for American football. Parag Marathe will be primary owner of Leeds United if 49ers close deal. And it was basically, the article was talking about big of a loss it was to the 49ers to lose this guy to a at the time Premier League club. So that's it. That's really all I've got. I challenge everybody here, everybody that pays attention, that will watch this. And big shout out to everybody. We're closing in on 1,000 subs, so please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Smash the like. Kicks the algorithm on. I'm trying to be on a journey to 1,000, but and why did I start this channel? I started this channel so I don't drive myself crazy. There's no Leeds fans in upstate New York, and I love Leeds. Anyways, I challenge you to Google Parag, Google the 49ers, look at the 49ers social accounts, look at how they run the club, look at what they do. Okay. Look at what they do with the players. Look at how they interact with the communities. Look at how many likes they have. Look at how many follows they have. Look at how big the club is. Look at how the finances of the club. Like, Google some of this stuff. Don't just assume that they don't know world football and they're going to get more American players in here. That's not true. That's simply not true. They are about winning. They're about bringing a winning culture. They don't give a flying you know what, where you're from, they want to win games. They want to be back in the Premier League. And they want to make, and if all that happens, they'll make money. They want the ground full. They want to build out the stadium more. They want to build out Elland Road more. I think this is a massive, massive upgrade. This is a Christmas come early. And to me, this is as big as a, I don't know. It's almost like if you can't get a trophy, this is like a nice consolidation prize. You're in a different league now. It's a different ownership. And I had a video. I'll send it to you. I mean, it's on the channel 10 months ago in my lives. It said Raz out. It was at the end of the summer transfer window when they had to sell Dan James. I roll to get Charles to get Delara, no goals. I roll, he wound up being terrible. But what it said to me was, if you have to sell a player, I know it's Dan James, but if you have to sell a player to get another player in, and what was the other one? Gapco, and there was another one. It's late here, early morning, hopefully where you are. But what I'm saying is to you, that 1 in, 1 out policy when you're squad building, that's what we were doing. We are squad building still. And I know that was at the wrong end of the pitch. And we needed a left back. I don't want to bring all that back up, but it was a big red flag to me to say this guy doesn't have the wealth to compete at this level. And that's why Raz had to go. Main reason why. F this BS and that BS freaking statement he put out, because that was wrong in so many ways. And the putting up the ground, that is just terrible human being behavior. But bottom line, he just didn't have the wealth to kick this club on to where we needed to be. And if you look at the wealth net worth or the wealth ratings of the Premier League owners, I think Raz was bottom or second to bottom. Villa's top 6. This is the big boy league. I'm not even talking about Newcastle, where it's a sovereign wealth fund is owning you. I don't want that either. And the ethical, moral crap around there. And I'm sure you dig far enough. I'm sure all these billionaires have questions. But what I'm saying to you is, it does take money to make money. And I think Raz was not willing to invest. And I think you saw that in the winter window when they were wearing 49ers gear for the Ruter signing. Not the right signing, but it's what was recommended by Orta. Anyways, that was a big, Raz didn't have it. Raz didn't have the cash. That's all. That's the punchline. Marching on together. Leeds. Happy Wednesday. Like, comment, subscribe. I thank you.